and a few other of the co-hosts might be joining us later. But thank you for joining us in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, if you're watching live or team replay, and let us know what city or state you're watching from or country. Today's topic is going to be something I think that can be very relatable. It's about global collaboration and cross-cultural networking. Something that I think that a lot of us do regularly here on LinkedIn, but some do it better than others. And so we wanted to share some tips, some strategies, and some techniques that have helped us along the way to collaborate across the ponds, to network with different cultures, and really build some amazing relationships. But before we get started, let's make sure that we do some introductions. So, Martha, please introduce yourself and let us know your thoughts about this topic, and then over to Joel.
Yeah, thank you, Felipe. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday. Um, who am I? I am a humanitarian at heart, love serving our unhoused population. I'm also the founder of Connect Impact Hub, and which is a nonprofit here in the States. And I have my little fur baby named Teddy, who's my little team player. He's over here licking himself right now. And about this topic, I've gotten the opportunity to work alongside many of friends that are in different countries. And so learning about the time zones, that has been very interesting for me. And then obviously the culture. So we'll jump more into it as we continue to speak about this subject, and I will pass it over to Joel for his introduction.
Thank you, Martha. And perfect timing. I was actually just finishing cleaning baby's teeth. Hence why there was lots of arms and everything here. For those of you who don't know me, but I suspect that most of you here will. At least I hope you will. My name is Joel, and I run a neurodivergent friendly and front running company called Rockstar X, which is now based over here in the UK and in the US, so a bit of both views there. And I aim to help raise awareness, sort of. We've had that, so get to the acceptance part and the inclusion part through all things creative. And this topic is very, very important to me because I do a lot of this stuff every single day. It never stops. So over to Felipe.
Well, thank you, Joel. And I'm looking forward to everyone sharing some of the things they've done, because there are some great success stories that we want to share with everybody. For those of you I've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofiño. I'm a passionate HR executive for 3 decades. I am a LinkedIn top voice, and most recently a children's book author, international bestseller, Miranda and Max. Check it out on Amazon. There's a new book coming out of Brady and Lucky the One-Eyed Cat, which is part of the 5-part series. But I'm also the head of human resources development and culture at PRB, which is an amazing nonprofit organization that's been around for 96 years, using data and research to help improve the well-being of people across the world, globally, in different countries, looking at demographics to really see where trends are happening and where we can be proactive about helping people's overall health in the future. But today's topic is about really global collaboration, cross-cultural networking, and how can we do that successfully and help us build relationships, get clients, get opportunities, get jobs. So we're going to talk about that today. I want to welcome a few people that have already joined us. Hello to Kenny, or one of our longtime fans here. Kenny, thank you for joining us. Tom Cullen, another great friend. Good to see you there. David Pushkin, our LinkedIn radio voice. Always great to see you, my friend. Meryl Cass, who is just our master communicator. Always looking to help make sure that people are aware of what's happening, not just LinkedIn audios or LinkedIn lives, but different posts that resonate with different people. He truly is the most impressive master connector I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. And Jane, it's always great to see you on Saturdays. Thank you for joining us. So listen, y'all, this is a topic that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about real quick and then invite you all up on stage. Joel, feel free to put the link in if you wouldn't mind to help me out. And I go over my Felipe's 5 things about global networking and cross-cultural networking that I want y'all to think about. The first one, when we think about it, it comes down to trust. Trust is a very easy thing to lose, but it's such a hard thing to gain. People have different philosophies. Some people call me naive. I tend to trust you until you give me a reason not to. I'm going to give you that trust, and it's yours to lose. But if you lose it, it's really hard to gain it back from me. Not impossible, but it's hard. But when we are doing it across cultures, respect is the key word. Respect, because your culture is not more important than anybody else's culture, and their culture is not more important than your culture. So building that trust of being curious, just be curious and learn about other people before you start pushing yours on them. Learn about their culture first. That's going to build trust. That's going to show that you care and that you're interested. The second thing is cross-cultural communication without missteps. Whether it's high content or low content, look, communicating cross-culturally, we have a hard time just in our own country communicating effectively here in the US, okay? So imagine if you have different cultures you're dealing with, different backgrounds, just different people with different personalities. So you have to be really understanding about how to avoid those common misunderstandings. And that comes down to really understanding their culture. If you understand what they value, what they respect, what they don't like, what they do like, what words they use, that makes a difference. So it means that you're trying to understand them. And again, it goes back to building trust. The third thing is leading and collaborating in global hybrid teams. Look for those opportunities in person and virtually. Do me a favor. Don't wait to be invited. Ask. Go ahead. The worst they can say is no. Hey, I love your podcast. I've been listening to it for a while. I would love to be a guest one day. Is there a way for people to sign up to be a guest on your show? If they say, oh, no, I'm really selective and I only pick certain people about different topics, I'll keep you in mind in the future. Great. Or, hey, here's a link. Sign up. So sometimes we got to put ourselves out there. The fourth one is cultural intelligence. And this is really as a career accelerator. If you're looking to improve your business, your career path, having that cultural intelligence, and it goes back again to researching someone's culture, understanding. If you're going to work with a group of people from a different country and you don't research their culture, you're already going to enter in with a negative. If you want to do business with a certain country or certain individuals and you don't research their background, why would they want to do business with you? So these are things that are going to improve your personal relationships, your business relationships, your job opportunities. And then the last thing is network across borders. I mean, this show right here, Society Chat. You have Joel and Mac in the UK. You have Martha, myself, and Thurman here in the US. You have Lark in the Caribbean. You've got Zion in Africa. We are truly global. Okay, so one of the things that we have to remember, and let's not even talk about our cultural backgrounds. Add that in there. We have Hispanic, we have African American, we have white, we have Caribbean, so South Pacific. So it's so much uniqueness that comes together, and look how well we work together. Look how people that are so different came together for Society Chat and have such a wonderful relationship. I say this as I'm alone on the screen and nobody else has their camera on, so I'm feeling very alone. You too. But with that, I'm going to stop there and hand it over to you, Martha. Tell me your thoughts about what's worked for you. What have been some of the benefits of global collaboration and cross-cultural networking? And what have you done that's worked? And then hand it over to Joel. And Joel, if you have a chance to put that link in the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah, so for me, I would say I had the pleasure of working with a lot of wonderful people here on LinkedIn through lives and understanding how how their system works there when it comes to people that are in need. And so it's been really interesting for me just to gain that knowledge. But also I've been able to work with um, some wonderful folks with Connect Impact Hub. So, and that's been a really interesting journey also. The time zones and,
Well,
just,
Martha, with that time zones right there, you went from Texas to California, correct?
yes,
So right there, your knowledge of what you gained from the unhoused in Texas, was
yes.
it a perfect? It, do exactly the same thing when you got to California, or did you have to change in your approaches or anything different because of just the way people are there?
That's a good question. Well, in Texas, there's honestly you don't see a lot of people outside. And here in California, you do see a lot of people outside. So that was different because the support, I just feel like the people in Texas, there's more support there. But then learning about the unhoused community here, about the reason why they come here, was very interesting. So it's been an eye opener. There's just more benefits here if you're in house than there is in Texas, which is
So learning about the house in California helped you serve them better.
what was that?
Learning about why the unhoused go to California and why they live outside helped you serve them.
Yes, yes, yes. So here, a lot of people, they come here to California because the weather is always warm. It doesn't get really cold like in other states, and there is a lot of support for the unhoused community. But once they get here, they realize, oh, there's no place for me to live. So then they're in this situation like, okay, what should I do? Do I continue to, receive what I'm receiving? Because they do receive a little bit more income in the state of California than they would in any other state because of the cost of living.
So there's pros and cons to every area. So
Yes.
And I can't imagine what it'd be like in different countries. Wow. Well, again, kudos to you for the impressive work you do and just how your global collaboration and just cross-cultural networking has helped you help others. I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, and then I also learned from friends here, that I got to connect with through LinkedIn about, how it is in Africa, how it is in India, for example. And I have a couple videos on Connected Pact Hub YouTube if you want to check them out, and how the support is available there. So it's just an eye opener just to be able to come and connect on a global level and just learn from other countries, like what's available and what's not compared to the US.
That's awesome. Thank you, Martha. Joel, how about you? I mean, you've had some great successes. I'm sorry, Martha, do you have something else?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So, Joel, I know you've had some great success. I mean, you've traveled globally and just because of the connections. Tell us about your experience.
My experience is a bit of an unusual one. Well, how it started, Felipe. I started in the wonderful world of make believe. all those years ago when I first joined the PlayStation Network. So it all started there and sort of spiraled onto more professional and more real. And
but hold on for 1 second. That the gaming network. Look, when we were growing up, people laughed at us who were playing games as adults. As we got older, like once you became like a teenager, like what are you doing playing video games? But what did for video games is allow people to interact with similar interests and network globally. And people, I think Joel interacted. My son met a friend in Chicago at the age of 12, and we let them travel to Chicago to meet that friend. The parent was there. We met with the parent virtually. But that's something that you normally would not do. So, whether it's dating apps, whether it's gaming, that's a legit way to network. Sorry, Joel. Go ahead.
Well, yes, you just completed my entire sentence. Yes, it's all started there, and more then it graduated onto LinkedIn, and because I decided I could use this to be more professional as opposed to how many people I can blow heads off on Grand Theft Auto. But uh, I can use this for professional, so that's what I did. And fast forward to 2020, lockdown happened, and my mum then ended up writing a letter, writing a letter in the paper, in the newspaper, admitting that I was right, and admitting that I was right about making friends in cyberspace. um, so yeah, that was that. That was fun. And then fast forward to now, and traveling all over the world, as Felipe says. Well, from here to America every single year, and next year is no exception. So
I love that your mom did that for you and owned up to it. That's an awesome story. I think it's awesome that she did that. Well, and as you can see, there's just so much opportunity, and I think that's where I want people to realize is that it doesn't happen instantaneously. It takes time. It takes a chance of putting yourself out there, getting comfortable, but start small. Start small. I mean, right now, joining all of you here, all you here on Saturday Chat are actually networking globally right now. If you come up on stage, you're taking it to the next level. If you ask questions in the chat, you're networking. I do want to welcome Leanna. It's great to see you there. And our friend Lisa Fevek. It's always great to see you. And Chris, always wonderful to see you, my friend. Oh, and my partner in crime, Melissa Houston's in the house. Always great to see you there. So let us know, I'm curious about people in the chat. What have you had success with global networking? What has been one success you've had that you want to share because you networked outside of your hometown? What's been a lesson learned? What's been something that you were like, oh, kind of faux pas, I said this to someone from Britain and that word means something else over there. And so, whatever it might be, but these are lessons learned. When people say, oh, how'd you know that? Well, I made a mistake and I learned from it. So I'd love to hear from you on the chat, what your thoughts are. And Joel, have you had a chance to put the link in the chat yet? Okay, great. So feel free to join us on stage if you want to go ahead and...
Twice.
What's that?
Twice.
Okay. So
in the comments, not the chat, the comments.
All right, I'm going to put it in the chat just to make sure it's easy for people because I know some people don't like going out of their live and back in because it ends up like losing a lot of the comments, and sometimes I get kicked out and the sound gets bad. So there it is. It's in the comments there now. So Chris has a question for you, Martha. Did you have more support in Texas than you have in California?
That's a good question. I think that I would say the community there was a little bit more open. I remember when I moved back to California, I always said, oh, the people are just more friendlier in Texas, which is true. I just felt more of a community in Texas than I did here back home. That's just me on a personal level. It could be different for everybody else, but for me, yeah, I just felt more of a sense of a community in Texas.
But you also spent more time in Texas too, so you built stronger relationships and a strong community too.
Yeah, that's where I started my journey. Also, I started my journey meeting people in motels. So yeah.
I wonder if you stay in California for 10 years. I wonder if you still feel the same.
Oh, so, yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Let's ask the question again in 10 years on Social Society Chat 10 years from now. Let's ask that question. Make a note of that. And Zohar, I'm sorry I missed you there. Welcome. All right, so feel free again to join us up in the chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, I want you all to think about the non-traditional ways of networking. People don't think that some of the simplest things that you have interest in that you can network. For example, dog lovers. You got a dog. If you don't have a dog, I might not approach you. You have a dog, and I have my dog with me. Guess what? Chances are I'm going to approach you, say hello, see if our dogs like each other, whatever. Ask about your breed, ask the dog's name. That's a form of networking. I wish Jay Travell was here, because Jay and I have a similar passion about Star Wars and Marvel Universe. Jay and I may not have had conversations in the past if we didn't find that commonality. From that commonality has grown a similar passion about neurodiversity, LinkedIn, lives. So it grows from there. So I don't want you all to think that you have to think about some grandiose thing to network about. Oh, I had to network about HR, homelessness, neurodiversity. No, you can network about gaming, about My Little Pony, Marvel, dogs, cooking, Taylor Swift. I mean, good Lord, Taylor Swift. You want to talk about people bringing people together and making cities money? I don't care if you don't like Taylor Swift or not. You meet Taylor Swift fans and they have a commonality of Taylor Swift. Boom, they're like almost instant friends just from that. And that network, look at that network that Taylor Swift has created. Every time she goes to a city, the economy goes boom. So I'm sharing that with you because networking can have small benefits and they can have massive benefits. David Pushkin says he did a podcast with a global panel of UK, US, and Canada. That's brilliant. I love that. Getting a diverse panel of different people, different cultures, learning about different ways of thinking about it is how we learn. What if you all had a better idea than I did and I didn't think about it and you all shared it? Boom. I can adopt that and now improve. Meryl says LinkedIn audio and LinkedIn Live open doors worldwide for me. I mean, and look what he did with it. He didn't just sit there and listen. He built relationships with people. He supported people. He became a master communicator of events, letting people know, hey, I know that you usually attend this event. In case you forgot, it's happening today. He doesn't have to do that. That's part of his passion. That's part of his mission and as far as what he likes to do with LinkedIn. And it brings him joy. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be Joel. Don't try to be Meryl. Don't try to be me or Martha. Be you, because only you can do you. I could not do what Meryl does as well as Meryl does. Hands down. You try to give me a drum set like Joel, you are going to want to leave the room very quickly because it is not going to sound good. And as much as I want to help unhouse people when I approach them, they're going to be much more questionable about me approaching them than someone like Martha. Martha's approach has such a warm way of feeling safe. A guy approaching them, regardless of what my intent is, might have a little more negative. So again, we all have special talents. We all have special skills. We all have different passions. Let's see, Martha, what other thoughts or ideas do you have?
Didn't mean to scare you guys. It came way too close to my face. For me, I was gonna say something, and of course, again, it slipped away. Darn it. Um, uh, I was gonna say something on the trust factor too, right? Because sometimes we don't know who we're meeting. And so I know you mentioned earlier, Felipe, like getting to know people really good. For example, like I'm just gonna put Meryl on the spot. Meryl, sorry, I'm gonna put you on the spot. But Meryl like sends really nice messages in like private messages, and it's just a nice way to just connect outside of the lives. And so that's another warm way. And of course, everyone has their own way of connecting. Some people like to do coffee chats, virtual coffee chats, which I actually enjoy those, seeing people face to face. And that's another way to get to know somebody too. And then also, like, is there a way we can collaborate? You just why not? Just you never know.
No, I think there's messages from Meryl are brilliant, and Meryl, they're so appreciated because Meryl doesn't send like, oh, I saw this post and sends it to all of us. No, he sees an individual post and says, oh, this made me think of Martha. I'm going to send it to Martha. Oh, hey, I know Felipe is passionate about this topic. Hey, Felipe, I saw this article. I thought about you. Thought I'd share it with you. that says that he's thinking about us as individuals. He's not just trying to stand out to the masses. That's a unique thing, and it's very much appreciated. So I love that you brought that up. Melissa Houston says this place has so many ways to connect, and it's true. You don't have to connect virtually with a video. You can do it audio. You can do voice text. You can do comments on a post. You can get offline. But, going back to that trust, Melissa Houston and I have been doing a show for 3 years now. The trust that I have with her today, with my family or sharing things, is up here. But year one, it was probably here. Let's be realistic. I didn't know her well enough. She was all the way in Washington State on the other side of the country. I haven't met her in person yet, but our relationship has grown. And we've gone through some real trials and tribulations in our own lives and been there for each other. Do I think that I ever would have reached out to somebody in Washington State and said, hey, Melissa, you want to be friends and hang out and talk and just, talk about business? And no, I would never have done that. And she would have thought I was a freak for doing that. So we have opportunities in person and virtually to be able to network. It's about, what are you going to do? I love what David said here, stay encouraged, but lessons learned we are global, but have shared commonalities. And that's where I want people to realize there are things that transcend cultures and geographic locations. And when we let that fear go and put ourselves out there, you'd be surprised. Not everyone's going to like it, but you find those that do, and that's where you start building that community. So I was trying to see the other comments here. Everyone's loving seeing Bailey, by the way, Joel. So my question here for you two is this. All right, with all the global networking, what has been the biggest financially successful thing that has come out of it? Whether it's been financially being able to help others, financially for yourself. I don't need dollar amounts. Just what was one thing that you're like, wow, that actually provided some financial value?
Not yet financial value, but I guess traveling across to the States regularly will eventually come around. But for me, it's not really about the money, because I can't take that with me afterwards. So for me, it's about spreading my message and
But Joel, with your trips to the U.S., did you not receive any support or help at all? Or did you just...
buy me a coffee twice. My great uncle once. No.
So networking, family, and LinkedIn, you got some donations.
Yes.
Okay, so you did. So again, it might be small, but there was something that came out of it because you reached out. And I think that's what it is. That's the first step. It's the first time we did it too. So, it's something that you can't expect to reach out the first time and get $1 million. No one did that. Well, I should say no one, but God bless you if it happens to you. But Martha, how about you? I know you've had challenges and ups and downs.
Yeah, I've been pretty vocal about my whole journey here. Starting a nonprofit and, LinkedIn community, being involved in that whole process. It's been a journey. It's been a journey these last 2 years. Going on 3 soon here. But to be honest with you, something that I've been moving with is my heart. If it's not there, then I'm not going to move forward with it. And I've always said that here too. Like if I don't feel it in my heart to share, I won't share. Like my LinkedIn posts, but also the way I move and the people that I connect with. I'm really, really in tune with being heart centered. And I know that in the past, like it's something that I've struggled with is asking for donations. It's not something that just happens, but yes, it has happened here on LinkedIn through my community for the startup fees for Connect Impact Hub. So yes, And then, so it's been nice, and I've gotten to connect with a community here that has helped me with Connect Impact Hub.
So, and I'm glad you shared that, because I know you both are not trying to make it about the finances, and I get that. But the reality is, any successful business, nonprofit, needs the finances to reinvest to help people and helping people.
Yep.
And you're not able to, like, you're working on getting over your comfort level of asking for donations.
Mhm.
You're going to become a master at it at some point, and it's going to become natural, but it is awkward at first. It's one of those things where we have to lead with our heart, but we have to be financially responsible to ourselves if we truly want to make a difference that's sustainable. Because Lord knows that I wish we could pay with good feelings and good intents. I wish that had some cash value, because we would be very rich in this world. But the reality is that we got to find a way to get over those fears, find a way to provide value. Sometimes it surprises you. Even though I'm passionate about recruitment, about sharing information about HR services, I number two thing I'm passionate about is training. Do I talk about training a lot? Probably not as much as the other things, but I have a contract for training of a bunch of club managers in February that I'll be doing my presentation. They reached out to me because they've seen our shows, they've watched me talk about topics, they liked what I said about communication one time. They're like, could you train about that to our managers? We're having some challenges. That networking. This person I've had on our show before, and we chatted. But she went to her DM and said, hey, there's an opportunity. I think I know something that would be good. So by putting yourself out there, coming up on stage right now, you're becoming more visible. You're putting yourself out there so that you can increase the networking, and people see you and talk about you afterwards. That happens. But Tom, thank you for coming up on stage. It's so good to see you. I hope you should keep your back on, because we see Grace. Please share your insights, or share your insights over you. Tom, we lose you? All right, did I lose everyone? Everyone was, okay,
I'm still here.
I'm
All
still
right,
here.
all right, sure. Just everyone black at the same time. And Tom, hello, Tom. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Oh, great.
I can. Can you hear me?
Perfectly. So tell us about your thoughts around global networking and cultural, learning.
Honestly, LinkedIn has introduced me to global networking, to be quite honest. I've met a lot of good people here. I talk with a couple people every week, Kenny and David, and they are my chief encouragement officers, you might say. They have brought me to a place that, in my mind, has lifted me up and allowed me to share. And even though I don't get on stage too often these days, I do when I can, and I try to lift people up when I can. So global networking has brought me to a new place in life, and found a new community, new friends, and it's enjoyable. And when I can lift somebody up, I do it every day. I had some issues in 2024, and I've kind of gotten over them. Uh, but this year in 2025, looking forward to 2026, I would say I've learned one hell of a lot in the last year alone. You know, different places that I've taken my business, different strides I've taken to grow personally and mentally, professionally for sure. I just started basically volunteering my time to Salvation Army here recently, and I haven't volunteered since 2013, and that actually has opened up some doors in itself. Just talking with people. Granted, a lot of the people I'm working with are retired folk, but they love to hear a good story, and I seem to deliver a story every day. I talk to them, and put smiles on their face, because it's not a downside kind of story. It's uplifting. You know, from my perspective, networking is so important, personally and professionally. You just can't go wrong there. And when you can lift people up, it just makes your day better.
Well, Tom, you just made our day better by coming up and sharing that. That was absolutely brilliant. I always share such great wisdom, with such great sense of care and intelligence. Very calm, soothing, and I love that you are volunteering. Volunteering is a great way of networking. And honestly, look, where I work at okay, yes, you're communicating too, Copper. Sorry. And so with the volunteering, you know, I think there's so much opportunity. At PRB, we do a lot of work around aging, and one of the things about aging that we learned a lot is that guys' mobility needed next network is such a valuable thing to keep them just feeling valued and energized. And I think sharing stories, that's have gone and sacrificed themselves for this country or for any country. They have a mental impact on what they practice. And sometimes people tend to overlook those things. Whereas networking can be a great source of support for retirees, for vets, for anybody who's feeling isolated or alone. And I think what you're doing, Tom, is bringing them joy, and I think that's great. Volunteering is wonderful. Martha, I know you could talk hours about this.
Yeah, you know, volunteering, just hearing Tom, Tom, thank you so much for sending me so many beautiful messages on LinkedIn, uplifting. We do get this community of we become friends, even though we're miles away, countries away, we all become a community. We actually genuinely care for each other. Um, and I think that's the beauty about connecting no matter where we're at is we actually care. And then even when you go and volunteer, you also create a community there. And so Tom, you just like touched my heart because I'm actually thinking about volunteering again here locally. And then that's like the best. That's like one of the greatest gifts we can give to one another is to go back and give back to the community in the way that we can, whether it's bringing our skills, storytelling, teaching technology, providing some food, passing out care bags, however we think we can. There's ways that we can volunteer in the best way we think we can, because it can be done. So thank you, Tom, for sharing and for always spreading love because we feel it. I know I do.
Oh, you're on mute, Tom.
You're very welcome, Martha. I appreciate everything you do, and a lot of these other folks as well. It's important to identify, I guess, to try to find the right words, but when you see people doing good things, you don't want to put them down. You don't want to be negative. You don't want to discourage them. You want to encourage them. And, they were, I think what got me into this volunteer gig here last weekend was they were in need of people to help deliver gifts. They were in need of people to help pick up food and bring it to the food banks. I had that background. I had that experience of driving the trucks or, being a swamper, using floor jacks, stuff that some of these older folks that I am working with just aren't in shape to do. So it's not to say they can't do it. It's just, it was a chance to do it. And I did. And they needed some other stuff, so I donated some extra food. A lot of syrups and jams and whatnot, and jelly candies, and I just said, sell it or give it away. It doesn't matter to me. Here's something to add to your fundraising efforts, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to raise X amount of dollars by the end of the year. This is the last weekend, apparently, that we'll be putting in some time. but realistically, it made my day. Every time I came home, it wasn't like I had a hard day at work. It was like I met some new people. You know, I networked with more people than I expected. You know, I was asked to come back next year. I was asked to come back over and over. And that's a nice feeling when people want you to come back. And quite honestly, volunteering is something that I kind of put by the wayside since 2013 just because I didn't feel appreciated before. But it was not really that at all. It was how I interpreted it, I guess. So when I see a need, I try to step up and do something about it. And that doesn't mean it always occurs, but and I'm not an angel by any means, but I do try to give more than I take.
Well, you're setting a great example for others. Absolutely. And you tapped in what you do. I think that's a great reminder for everyone. I think with you tapping into your driving experience to your other experiences, tap into what you love to do. You know, if people came to all of us right now on screen, we could tap into Joel's music talents, Martha's ability to organize a event like this to help people, my ability to spread the word out through networking and social media, whatever. Tap into what you love to do. Tap into helping people with what you do best. You know, we can't always do what people need, but when what they need matches your talent, that's an opportunity. And I love that Tom demonstrated that so well, because I think we could do so much in the world. And sometimes all it takes is to offer saying, hey, I've done that in my job and in my past. I'm happy to help if you would like it. Not everyone needs the help, but it's always nice to offer it, because people are less likely to ask if they feel like people are too busy. I do want to welcome Jeremy, who joined us as well, and Bill, William, Rochelle, and Graham. Thank you for coming. And I report here, our friend, sorry to report that breaking news. He just shared it with us, and Bill posted it here, but I think that means LinkedIn deal as far as comment in chat reached too many comments, which I didn't know that was, but leave it to Kenny to figure that out. The other thing I want to talk about community, and Tom, you referenced this earlier when you talked about Kenny and who the other person talked about, right? Kenny and
David.
David, yes, David Pushkin. And I have a little group chat with Bill, William Rochelle, Jeremy, Mike LeBlanc, and Kenny was in there for a little bit. And it was a safe space for guys to be vulnerable, which it wasn't the intent. Vulnerable, and they're like, sorry, I didn't mean to share that. I'm like, no, it's okay. Whether it's a guys group, a women's group, a co-ed group, whatever it is, those kind of community and networking, that's the gold standard. It really does. When you're able to share something vulnerably with other people that you've never met in person and they help you through it, that's a huge thing. So I'm sharing this as just another example of another benefit of global collaboration and networking. It's going to, the benefits outweigh the cons tenfold, you all. So listen, we got 10 minutes left. Want to give people a chance to join us on stage one last time before we wrap up. It is the holiday season, as you can tell, the holidays threw up in this office here. But we'd love for you all to share your thoughts about networking. Come up and practice networking just by coming up and saying, hi, my name is Felipe. I just want to say hello and come up for the first time. First timers, we love it. If you're first time coming up on stage, tell us it's your first time. We'll be gentle. You can be as quick as you want. You can say, I just want to say hi and jump back down. But it's that first step. So what has anything helped you get over your fears of networking? Joel, Martha, or Tom, was there ever a time where you're like, what was it that helped you get over that hump that you felt like, I don't want to do this, but you ended up doing it anyway?
Honestly, comparing it to pulling a tooth out.
Okay, so how did you get over that fear of that sensation of you don't want to get the pain of having a tooth pulled out
Well, the
by
faster you do it, the less painful it is, or the less or the less you notice it.
the light was hit again?
The faster you do it, the less you notice the pain or the anxiety.
Just do it, basically. Just like the
Yeah,
Nike slogan, just do it.
yeah,
I love that. And you know what? I gotta say, the just do it prevents you from overthinking about it. That's a great point. And I did that one time when my wife was like, we always leave things on the staircase and around the house or on the floor. Every time I saw something, my mindset was, all right, just do it. Just pick it up now. Just do it. Oh, that needs to be fixed. Just do it now. It works, but you got to create some boundaries or else you will burn yourself out at some point. Martha, what about you?
Yeah, for me, can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
What helped you overcome your fear of networking when you've had one in the past? You know, that time where you're like, I don't want to go to this event, or
Mm,
you were young and somebody was encouraged you saying you got to go. What helped you get over
yeah.
that?
I just thought about the people that I'm serving, because spreading the word of what it is to go out and serve in the community, and sharing real stories of those folks. uh I attended an event in Texas. It was a gala, and I didn't know anyone there. So I was coming in as a newbie and just talking about a program, and it was quite amazing to leave and make friends. And I'm like, I had the best time of my life.
And I love that what Martha did was she took the focus off of her and made it about who she was serving.
Hmm.
Once once the focus is on something else and not about you, you stop thinking about the fear. So that's a great example there, Martha. One thing I will say that helped me was sometimes you need a partner. Take that partner with you to that networking event, but here's the trick. Don't stay with that partner. Make it a game. We sit there and said, okay, we'll network, people's names and learn about them and come back and share and then go back again. So we didn't spend time together. Our goal was, can we find people, learn about them, and listen, learn more about something? And what was the most unique thing? And I think that helps. But caution, red flag, go with somebody. That Tom, what are your thoughts? What has helped you overcome fear of networking? Oh, is Tom frozen? All right. Well, while we wait, back, Tom. Okay. All right. Well, Chris, it's great to see you, my friend.
I've got a serious.
Please tell us your.
I have a serious lag here.
Oh, Tom has serious lag. Okay. You want to
Do I?
Carry on, Felipe. I'll get this straightened out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll wait for time to straighten that out. Chris, thank you for coming up here and joining us. Chris, we can only see your forehead right now. I don't know if that's just my screen or not, but
Turn my thing sideways.
No, that's much better. Yeah. So please tell us your experience of networking and how you've done networking.
Well, thanks to Martha and you too, Felipe. Y'all showed me some light. That's why I started the networking of saving teen lives, and my mission was for 2025. And then the audio rooms went away, and we kind of slowed back. But because I became disabled when I was a teen, I want to make parents aware of what distraction driving can do, and that's why my story came out in a book, and that's why my website is up, got all the statistics on it, and that's how I became to do it. And I'm still learning on how to get my YouTube to go live. I can't get that done yet, But me and Martha's supposed to get together one day when she's got free time, and we're gonna go over that. But that's how I've been doing it, is just to saving teen lives, because I want parents to aware of what distraction driving can do and how they can save their teens by setting apps on their phones and not, getting their teens to be aware of, hey, mom, the driver I'm with is not listening. Can you come get me? So that's where I started, and I just wanted to jump on and just say that and say hi to y'all and how you been, Martha, and you, Felipe.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for jumping on. That was such a great example of something that you've had your own challenge in your life, and you've taken that to try to help others. That's the epitome of being admirable, and I just applaud you for that. And I think that's just a great example that you've taken your life and you've dedicated to really helping others and teens and parents. I think that's an amazing example. Martha, your thoughts, and Joel?
Yeah, watching Chris evolve in these last couple, like last year, has been quite extraordinary. Like, Chris, you should really be proud of yourself speaking up. And I mean, it started off with coming here to these live events and just speaking up. And then the next thing you knew, Chris has got, he's got a YouTube channel, but we're gonna work on that, Chris. And then he's got a book now and a website, and he keeps spreading the message. So if anything, Chris is saving lives. And I know there's other things that he's doing behind the scenes that we don't know about. Well, a lot of us don't know about, but to get the word out. So Chris, thank you so much for coming on stage and just continuing to spread the message that, I have a teen son, and so it's important for me to hear you speak, and any other parent that's out there listening too. Thank you.
Felipe, Martha, I was coming to these audio rooms. I used to just sit back and just listen to everybody talk, and I just listen, and wasn't until I was in Shayna's room and then hearing y'all, I was able to find my voice. And, Alexandra said, what is your purpose and what is your mission to do? And, it took me a long time to think about it. And I thought about it, said, because I became disabled as a teen. And that's when I said, well, saving teen lives with open parents and get them to be aware of what distraction doing. All of those fooling on the radio. These phones right here is a big distraction right now. And here lately, in the last, I'd say, maybe I might be ballparking wrong, but last 6, 7 months, I've been seeing parents talking on phones, and they got teens in their cars and their drivers. Or you're not setting an example, a bad example of being distracted by talking on this phone. And I learned to find my voice, and Felipe, Martha, and Margaret, and y'all all showed me where I could be at and where I could do, and that's why I was able to come out and do this. And it's a big thanks to all of y'all.
Well, thank you, Chris. We are grateful that you found your voice, because if you hadn't, I can't imagine how many people would have missed out. So thank you for finding your voice and having the courage to do it. Again, everyone's on their own journey. Whether you start when you're a teenager, you start when you're 80. My mother's 93. I mean, there's no time limit of when you want to start. I want to try to go back to Tom. It says still reconnecting, but Tom, are you able to speak? All right, Tom's still in the reconnecting world there.
What's the question here?
Oh, there you are. You are back. All right. So, what was your any stories of how you overcame fear when it came to networking, or any examples of to overcome fear of networking?
Honestly, I've always been good one-on-one. What I haven't been good at is talking in front of a bunch of people. So I'm learning to get over that. It's you can grab the attention of a room if you all you need to do is appease one person in that group, and suddenly you have the attention. And it's a work in progress, I would say, but networking, again, emphasis on it's so important to do personally and professionally. It opens doors when you least expect it. So it's sorry about that. Yeah,
Well,
but go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, it's the fear of not networking. I think plays more of a role in your head than it does otherwise, because networking is how we grow together. Uh, One person at a time. It doesn't matter if you're talking to one person or 50 people. So I put a lot of emphasis on networking with a lot of people I talk to, just because it does open up doors, and they can be personal doors. You mentioned something earlier, Felipe, about if you're walking your dog, you have a dog with you, you come across someone else who's got a dog, suddenly they're playing together. You know, it's all in how you perceive it and what you come across in energy wise. I think it's it's just important to do it. I think if you stay quiet, then you're never going to grow the way you want to grow. I think that's
Well
the best
said.
way to put it.
Well said. And just so you know, Tom, for someone who says that, if you're talking in front of a people, you cannot do it every time you come on stage. You're talking to a group of 20 plus people, so you have experience. You just don't realize it, and you do it very well. All right, we are wrapping up the hour, but we have one more wonderful guest who's joined us, none other than William Bill Rochelle. How are you, my friend? Why are you looking surprised?
Hey.
The camera's on. Why are you surprised you're up here, Bill?
Because normally I'm backstage and then I'm looking at everything, but with yours, you're just like on. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about Joel does not prep you. He's like, live, go, done, go, live.
Hey, Tom, that was a great story. And it's very nice to see and meet you. And I wanted to thank you so much for everything that you do. You're always supporting me. You always come up with something that's either super supportive or super funny. And it cracks me up in the middle of it. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to thank Felipe, because we're closing out our year, for all the support that he has given me. I heard you talking about our group. Um, I miss it. I would love to, start that again. I think after the holidays, I think we're all so scattered right now that it's difficult. And Martha, I did a shout out to you last Sunday because you said that I was brave, and so that encouraged me to be even extra brave on last Sunday's show. So I just really think I wanted to come up and just give gratitude for everyone who has been there and say, I see you, I feel you, I appreciate you. And let's pray together that 2026 is way, 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 way better than 2025 has been. But at the same time, that we retain that community feel that we have today.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Bill. And I think that's a great thing to end on is gratitude. We are coming to the end of the year, and I heard a saying recently: count your blessings before you tally your troubles.
Absolutely.
And I like that saying. So count your blessings before you tally your troubles, because at the end of the day, everyone has something to be grateful for. You have something that somebody else doesn't have. So yes, other people have something you don't have, but blessings before you tally those troubles. All right, because I really do think.
Can I say also acknowledge Joel and Chris, because I didn't do that?
No, you cannot acknowledge them. Absolutely not. No, I refuse. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, I kind of talked specifically about everyone else. I'm not sure if we've met Chris, and I know that we have met or are connected a few times, Joel. So, and I love what you're doing out there, and I appreciate you putting yourself out there. And Chris, I'd love to learn more about you as 2026 begins. That's it.
All you gotta do is ask Martha, Felipe, and Tom. They can tell you all about me.
I'm not talking to Felipe.
I'm not talking to you. All right, y'all. Listen, I hope you all can see that, again, this right here is a perfect example of how networking is built into relationships, friendships, business opportunities. So it really is a wonderful thing. So
And rage.
a little bit. With that being said, want to wish everyone a happy holidays. We're gonna go around and do our quick closeouts here for the co-host. But we will be back next Saturday for another social study chat. It will be, is it our last one or second to last one? I think it's our second to last show, right? Joel, I'm asking. But that's
You're
not
here Saturday.
Second.
second to last. Okay, all right, thank you. So, so we'll be here, and hopefully you'll see some of our other co-hosts. And as always, people who have joined the show chat in the past, and people who have been regularly attending it, and so you never know, some of these good faces might be joining our team in the future. But Marco, what do you have coming up, and any last thoughts about networking? Martha, you hear me?
Oh, sorry. For me, I don't have anything coming up next. I do want to thank Bill, though. He just left because I am speaking about slowly, about my mental health journey. And so, and I want to thank my friends that have come through, that are stepping up and just, you know, extending their hand out to help. And I really appreciate you all. And I will be back. I'll continue to share as my heart says yes. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Joel or Jay, because he's on stage now.
Jay first.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Bye, Jay.
So what?
Hi, Jay.
Sorry, can someone catch me up on what we've been talking about?
Felipe, you're on mute.
Jay, we were actually literally ending the show. We were talking about networking today. So we were just doing our closeouts right now. So any thoughts about networking you want to share real quick?
Not really, no. Just, continue to network with new people and share your experiences. That's it, really.
Well, thank you. I mentioned you earlier about how our passion about Star Wars and Marvel allows us to network because we have similar passions. So that was a great example that I shared. I'm glad you came up. And Jay's a perfect example of someone who comes up here on occasion and just talks about what he's passionate about, what he's working on, what he has coming up. And that right there is a perfect example of networking. So follow examples of the people on stage, practice networking, set yourself a goal for 2026 to attend 2 or 3 events maybe. All right? And with that being said, Joel, any final thoughts and anything else coming up?
Apart from next March, I'm coming back to you guys again. I couldn't get enough the last time, so we're back for more. Well, they can't get enough of me, so they're back for more. Don't know which way around it is, but
Can I ask the other people? We're getting a lot of background feedback noise from the audience. If you're not speaking, you ask you all to mute. All right, go ahead, Joel.
So yeah, apart from next year, I'll be coming back to the States for more. I'm now officially a co-author as well, so that book is now out on Amazon, and I think Amazon is the only place that it's currently out on, so it's out everywhere. And looking forward to seeing you all again next week for the second to last podcast of the year. Good grief.
All right. Well, thank you, Joel. And Joel mentioned he's co-authoring a book. That was another benefit of networking. A number of us were co-authors in a number of anthology books, which that inspired me to write a solo book for that children's book. Again, never would have happened if I had not networked with the basic people that I actually didn't think were life here. So, as far as what I have coming up, tomorrow is supposed to be our Careers Casting Coaching, we're taking a small holiday break and the 28th for another episode. And then the Workplace Wellness Hour is on holiday break, and we'll be back in January as well. So I'm going to be enjoying the holidays with the family. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break on LinkedIn. You might see some posts here and there, but nothing too regularly. But I will be taking Saturday morning always for Saturday chat with Make the Crew. And I'll share any topics you want us to tackle. Jay, Chris, Bill, I forget somebody else. I think that was it. And thank you all of you for joining us in the chat. And we will see you all next Saturday. All right. Adios, everyone. Take care and be safe. And remember to count your blessings before you tally your troubles.
Always.